I wanted to share with you a perspective that we've been playing with here at Beyond Coaching, and it's something that's exciting the hell out of us at the moment. So I was reminded this morning by a friend that King Lear, the play, was written by Shakespeare while he was in quarantine, and uh, and so I did some research, because there are a lot of these these anecdotes and these quotations that come out during times of crisis. So of course I don't want to glibly quote that Shakespeare was just so amazing during quarantine when it may not be the truth. As far as I can tell, it is the truth, and there is a big disclaimer here. However, it's a great story. So here it is, right? For the last 2.5, 3 months, the world has been watching this coronavirus COVID-19 situation unfold and progressively get worse. And it started in China and it became this global pandemic. And it is something that is affecting not only our businesses, our social infrastructure, but it's affecting countries' economies, it's affecting the global economy, it's affecting people's well-being, it's affecting people's health, it's taking lives. And because of all of that, there's a lot of panic and there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of strain. And so what I've been noticing a lot on social media and on media, besides all of the information overload in terms of what the truth is around COVID-19, and there are many different perspectives. Underlying everything is a fear. And within that fear is the need for tools and mechanisms to survive and to cope. And that makes sense, right? As human beings, whenever we're faced with adverse situations, our primary instinct is survival. So 100% normal. The thing is that there's a lot out there, right? So this is not one of those posts. This is not a video to tell you how to cope, how your business should cope, how your team should cope, how you as a leader should cope. There's a lot out there. And yes, we've got all those tools to talk to you about. We've got some good tools. We've got some great conversations we can have in that direction. But I want to change tack, because if you can see this, let me say it this way. If you can cope, you can survive. If your business can survive after everything, it's business back to normal. But if you take a different strategy and you look at how to thrive, how to be Shakespeare, then not only do you survive, of course you survive, but you evolve and you become stronger. And in that strength, when things turn around, when economies start to pick up, when people go back to business, when the wheels start turning again, that's where huge success, exponential success, becomes available to you. So what we need to do is to change our conversation to not how do I survive, but how do I explode? How do I become fundamentally successful? What needs to shift and what do I need to focus on? So here's the thing, right? Apparently, and again, I'm open to correction on this. So any of the Shakespeare buffs out there, please, correct me. But as far as I can tell, Shakespeare had to survive 4 plague outbreaks and 4 quarantines in his life. The first when he was a baby. And then the second, or the most significant, let's just put it there, the most significant was during 1606 to 1613. He was in a 78-month lockdown, quarantine, because of the plague. Think about that for a second. In South Africa, people are freaking out because it's a 3-week, 21-day lockdown. Back then, when they didn't have the infrastructure, the resources, technology, food technology, etc., they had to be in lockdown for 78 months. Now, granted, it was a simpler life and there were fewer people, but all their food was perishable. They had no internet, they had no Zoom, they had nothing. And all they could do was just sit at home and do whatever they needed to do. And Shakespeare used that time to write some of his best works: Macbeth, King Lear, Antony and Cleopatra, and I'm guessing much more. He worked on them. And this is the point. How many brilliant ideas do you have that you can't work on during normal business times because it's too much business as usual? It's the normal routine of wake up, get to work, react to circumstances, handle stuff, fight fires, go home, sleep, replay the next day. Now's the time to tap into your creativity. Now's the time to tap into foresight, vision, strategic thinking, and structured kind of greatness. You know, the days of reactive bullshit are over. And we need, if we can embrace that, there's exponential success available to us. But it needs us to let go of our addiction to drama. You know, I'm looking at so much of the social media inspiration out there, and it really, hats off, right, to everybody who's making an effort to try and make a difference. I deeply appreciate that, and I think that it's well placed, it's well meaning, and it's valuable. But guys, come on. Do you really need tips on how to exercise at home? Do you really need tips on how to be more productive at home? Do you really need more tips on how to exponentially grow your business? I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself, but stand by. Do you really need more tips on how to just get more done? That's counterintuitive. It's counter everything that this virus is giving us as an opportunity. So besides all the terribleness, I know that's not a word, but it's my word. Besides all the terribleness of the virus and the outbreak, there's great value available. But we got to do things differently. We got to drop our addiction to drama. And so what I would love to see, and I'm going to be talking about this more of, is how to slow down. Like if you've got a morning routine and it consists of, you know, using your commute time to have breakfast with your family and to read the news and maybe scroll through whatever's on your news feed, social media. Okay. And then in the evening you're doing the same thing. Where's the quiet time? Where's the time for silent reflection? Where's the time for meditation? Where's the time for just slowing down? One of the things I'm really going to miss when this is all over is silence. I love having dinner outside on the patio with my family and hearing nothing. I'm really loving that at the moment. It's allowing for a different, deeper peace in me. I read an article that seismologists around the world have noticed small earthquakes that are happening in the Earth's crust. And they're only starting to notice that now because the vibration of life has ceased. All the vibration of traffic and of movement and of trains and of aeroplanes and just the constant kinetic pollution that we create as human beings actually dulls their ability to pick up what is naturally happening in the Earth's crust. And now that we've stopped and a lot of the world is in lockdown or versions of that, they're starting to pick up these micro movements in the Earth's crust. And it's a fantastic metaphor for what's available to us. You know, our earthquake, our next great shudder of evolution as humans, as a business, as leaders, as people, can only happen when we silence all of the vibrational noise of stuff So I'm challenging you to stop trying to be so productive. I'm challenging you to stop looking for the next thing to do. I'm challenging you to stop bringing the franticness of your business place into your home, and instead to literally go and sit in the silence and be with the silence. I know it's going to be hard the first time you do it, trust. I know. But do it a second time. Build it into your routine and expand it. See how long you can do it. And then have a look at what comes up in that silence. Have a look at what you let go of in that silence. Have a look at what creativity becomes available to you. I mean, Shakespeare didn't have to worry about Google, he didn't have to worry about YouTube, he didn't have to worry about Facebook, Twitter, BBC News, Sky News, CNN, The Guardian, Al Jazeera. He didn't have to worry about all of that stuff. He just had a candle and a lot of time and a lot of silence. And in that silence, he wrote, or he worked on and completed some of his most profound and celebrated work. What about you? It's never going to be, unless you allow it, business as normal. There's a new normal out there, but it's only there if you choose to look for it. And that new normal could be absolutely fantastic, or it could be disruption, stress, more chaos, just on a different level. What do you want? Let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you got to say about what I just said, but only after I finish my coffee and I finish my silence. Peace out.